take a look at the tail of the tape. Everything is very close, but it's that 160-pound weight, because since this was a last-minute thing for De Souza, they gave him a weight allowance of 161. Both fighters came in at 160 pounds and are happy to do so.
Conduct yourself like main event fighters at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Obey the rules we went over in the dressing room at all times. Protect yourself, fight hard. Here we go.
4 years ago here, they shared a locker room. Roberto de Souza calls Patricky Pitbull Professor. Patricky Pitbull invited him to come to Brazil to help working on his stand-up.
You ready? Let's go.
Is he going to be sorry he didn't take him up on that offer? We're about to find out.
There is no doubt in the stand-up game, Patricky is going to be much more comfortable. He's got the power. De Souza, like I said, his stand-up is coming along, but when it hits the ground, that entire aspect is going to change. One has to be very careful on the feet. One has to be super careful on the ground.
We've seen over the years different approaches guys take on short notice fights.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to think, well, it's such an advantage for Pitbull. It's not. He's facing a different opponent. He's facing someone that is completely different than the fighter that he was working himself to get ready for in AJ McKee. So it's not an advantage for Pitbull in any way. He's actually, taking a chance because of that style change.
Roberto de Souza talked to us the other day about being patient. Is that the best strategy for a guy who has to win this fight by submission? Does he have to win it early?
I don't know if it is, because it's one of those, you take a look and you say, he has to be patient as far as the stand-up, but he has to go after the ground and the submission. He has to go after the takedown. He has to go after Pitbull while he's dry, because that's going to help with the submission in locking it in. When Pitbull gets wet, it's going to be easy for him to slip out of things.
35 professional fights for Patricky Pitbull. Only 2 have ended by submission. He won one in 2010. He lost one in 2012. That is indication. He was a BJJ champion back home, but that was a long time ago.
And everything's about what you practice the most. And the Pitbull brothers as a team, they've really gotten into being what we call sprawling brawlers. They are guys that want to stand up, use the power that they have, and they both have supreme power. And I want to keep the fight where I'm the one controlling the pace, I'm the one controlling the position. They've been very, very proficient at doing that.
Level change easily stuffed.
And that right there is the question. We know that Pitbull has got good wrestling defense. He is not easy to take down. And so it might be that you see Satoshi actually pulling guard, actually going to his back to try to get the fight down to the ground where he believes that he has the skill set, and I do too, to submit Pitbull.
Satoshi, a 3-time world champion, 2006, 2008, 2010 for BJJ. His father, legend. The story of the Pitbull brothers has been written, but the forgotten part always, and it was such a great part of the story of Patricky winning that world title, is that they were both 145ers when they came here, but they weren't going to fight each other. So somebody had to go to 155. The older brother Patricky did. And then it was Patricio who gave up the 155 title that opened the door eventually for Patricky to fight for it and win it in double.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they've been so good for each other because they have helped each other get better. And you have that person that is a high-quality fighter that is honest with you, tells you the things that, hey, you need to improve here. This is what you need to do different. And you can believe them, and you work at those things, and you know what? That's the difference in you becoming a winner.
Flying knee from De Souza. I mentioned this earlier, but Patricky is the most tournament-tested fighter. This is his 11th tournament fight because he fought in the Rizin tournaments. He fought in the early Bellator tournament.
Yep. And the one thing you're noticing right now, just take a look at the patience. And this is where, Patricky is just out there. He's very patient. He's waiting for his moments, and then he explodes. And he goes after you with a ferocity and power in those hands that he can end the fight at any moment.
catch-up knee. Which you don't see from him often.
He'll definitely go for the flying knee and stuff, but you take a look, he's so nice and relaxed in his approach, and the way he just keeps coming, marching forward. You see that little step back? He's the one that says, you know, I want you to come toward me. He is a good counter fighter, and he's waiting for you to attack him so he can counter. And sometimes guys get so, you know, I'm worried about that they don't attack him, and he's got to come forward, step forward, and start throwing.
Good exchange at the end of round one. So we've seen fighters during fight week struggle to make weight. You go through your process. And we haven't really talked. We've talked so much about Roberto de Souza in his week, and all of a sudden you're taking that last few days of pressure off to make weight for Patricky.
Absolutely, you know, and again, the pressure of the new opponent. It's so difficult for people to understand when you have been practicing and looking towards a certain style, and all of a sudden that style completely changes. It changes your outlook on the fight.
So we're wishing AJ McKee the best. He put out some pictures this week on social media, and the staph infection is just not something you mess around with.
No, we talk about, you know, if there's one thing in the grappling arts that you have to deal with all the time, it's skin diseases and different types of infections. Here you go with Satoshi actually looking for that takedown. He knows he didn't get it, goes towards grabbing that, getting into guard. Pitbull right away says, nah, I'm not going to play your game. That's a smart fighter. Don't play another man's game. Make him get to his feet. You're the one in control of the position. That's what he does.
You heard the super smart Japanese crowd react immediately because they understood the significance of the moment. Whether or not you speak Portuguese, the voice of Patricio Pitbull is so familiar. It cuts through, and obviously it's a quiet building, but you don't even have to look around to know who's talking.
No, you don't. You know that's his brother, and he's just barking out little instructions about positioning, where he wants him to be, what he sees as an opening.
There was about a 2-year period as kids where they did not speak to each other. You can imagine what that house was like.
I couldn't imagine them not speaking to each other because they're so good together.
Yep.
You see them with their families all the time, you know, being together and everything. They lean on each other. You know, they believe in each other, and they're their strongest, you know, assets.
We've watched their families grow. We talk about the Bellator record book and one day a Bellator Hall of Fame. They are just dotted all over every category.
And one of the things that you'll see Pitbull do a lot in his other fights is he will, you know, look towards the takedown as just to feign it. He's not even doing that because he's like, nope, I'm not going to, he knows I'm not going to try to take him down, so I'm not even going to go with it. I'm just going to straight out, stand up, make this as much of a kickboxing fight as I can.
Combination from Patricky, the switch stance. Again, not only 6 days notice, but his first ever, Satoshi's first ever 5-round fight. So there's a lot of things to be thinking about here with a very dangerous guy in front of you.
That's what Satoshi needs to do. Don't go after him with one shot. You got to go after him throwing combinations because it's always the second, third, fourth shot that's going to land. But every time that you do throw those shots, you're giving the opportunity for Pitbull to counter. It's a nice low calf kick by Pitbull. Those add up quickly.
Souza's been a very difficult guy to finish. He's only been finished once, 17 pro fights. There's the shot. And even A.J. McKee had his moments, but didn't get the finish. Best combination there of the fight from Patricky.
That wasn't a bad shot. That actually got him pretty deep, and Pitbull just stonewalled it.
There's the jump knee, and that one got through.
That hurt. He should go after him, and he got hurt by that one.
Patricky's trying to decide, is he trying to lure me in, or was he hurt? And it looked from the naked eye like he was hurt.
Yep.
Kerry Hatley saying, get up, and Roberto's thinking, easy for you to say.
Get up, yeah, thank you very much. I don't want to. I'm not sure that Patricky understood how bad he actually hurt him.
Yeah, he did. That brings us to the end of round 2.
Round 3.
That was, I'm seeing 3 of you right now.
Grab the one in the middle. 2 rounds for Patricky.
No doubt about it. You know, you take a look, he's the one in control of the fight. He's the one landing the bigger shots. Satoshi's got to change it up, figure out how to change the momentum of this fight and get it to the ground.
Souza's tried to shoot a couple of times. There's a leg kick. He is down.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He's not gonna make it out of it. It's over.
Curls up, and we're done.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end. 49 seconds into round number 3 by TKO. He earns his spot in the semi-final round of the $1 million Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix. The winner, Patricky Pitbull.
The former world champion has reached and climbed step 1 of his 3 steps back to the top of the lightweight division with his 17th career knockout, and he's with Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Patricky Pitbull. Patricky, that was a beautifully done, systematic fight where you just broke it down. Punches, kicks, and the leg kicks in the end were the telling call.
And the flying knee also.
Did you know that you had him hurt with the flying knee? Because it seemed like you really didn't. It looked like you thought he was playing possum.
Yes, he landed the right hand all the time. His right hand is very, very dangerous. But sometimes he landed the right hand to try to take down or put the guard. So I just wait the right moment to connect the flying knee and put him down and try to finish. Just calm and did my job, do my job.
はい、大変、美しいファイトを見せていただいたというふうに質問を投げていただきましたけれども、ありがとうございます。ホベルト・サトシ・ソーザ選手、右手の打撃、注意しなければいけないなと思っていました。そこからの彼の動き、テイクダウンに来るのか、それとも、ガードだけで終わるのか、そのあたりをよく読みながら、狙ってました。飛び蹴りということで膝がうまく入ったところから、自分のペースに呼び込めたと思います。
This win puts you into the semifinals of the Lightweight World Grand Prix. Your opponent, you already know, is Alexander Shabley. What's your thoughts on your opponent?
I will take my win. That's it. I don't have a lot of work to do. I just need to do my job and take the win to stay on the way to the 1 million. And I want to say thank you so much, Mikura Sakura, because he paid everything to come here and train with him, and help a lot, and my team also. Thank you so much. ありがとうございます、日本。
さて今回ですね、ベラトールライト級ワールドグランプリの、これで準々決勝を制したということで、次の試合に進むことになります。対戦相手、アレクサンドル・シャブリーとなります。それに対して、答えはですね、もうただただ自分の仕事をやるのみ、そして勝利するのみ、 そして多くのスポンサーの方々の、ご支援があって今この場に立てていると思いますので、この場をお借りして皆さんのその声援に対する感謝とともに、感謝の気持ちを伝えたいと思います。ありがとうございました。
Congratulations on a beautiful performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Patricky Pitbull.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now.